Welcome to the channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon to stay updated with every new story. The afternoon sun cast long shadows over the quiet suburban street. Marcus walked Rex, his German shepherd, the leash hanging loosely in his grip. After weeks overseas doing security contracting, he savored these simple moments. Yet he felt the eyes. Strangers who lingered too long, clutched purses tighter. He'd spent over a decade in Delta Force, dismantled terrorist cells, protected people who never knew they were in danger. Here, in his own neighborhood, he was the threat. A black and white cruiser slowed, matching his pace. "Afternoon, sir." Marcus stopped, turned with measured ease. "Afternoon, officer." Officer Calloway leaned against the window, assessing. His partner Miller stepped out, positioning himself nearby, close enough to intimidate. "You live around here?" Calloway asked casually. "Yes, sir, I travel for work. Security contracting overseas. Just got back." Miller scoffed. "Mercenary?" "Private security. I consult for agencies, help train emergency response teams." "We got a call about someone looking suspicious," Calloway said, shifting. "Figured we'd check it out." "I wasn't aware walking my dog was suspicious." "You'd be surprised. Mind if we see some ID?" Marcus reached slowly into his jacket. Rex rumbled quietly, shifting closer. "You might want to keep that thing under control," Miller muttered, hand near his belt. "Rex is fine. He's well trained." Calloway barely glanced at the ID. "Think we need you to step over here for a few questions." Marcus stepped forward. That's when everything changed. "Delta Force, huh?" Miller mused, examining the wallet. "That supposed to mean something?" "It means I've served. Now I work security consulting." "See, what I see is a guy walking around where people don't recognize him. Folks get nervous." "I do belong. I live here." "Then you won't mind more questions," Calloway said, stepping closer. Marcus remained still. They wanted a reaction. He wouldn't give them one. "Guy seems tense," Miller observed, "almost like he's hiding something." Rex sensed the shift, body tensing. The dog had been trained to read situations, recognize when his handler was in danger. "You got that thing under control?" Calloway motioned toward Rex. "He's fine. He's trained for protection, follows commands." "A dog like that, all trained up to attack. Dangerous thing to be walking with." "He's not trained to attack. He's trained to defend. And what does he think you need defending from?" The words hung heavy. Marcus said nothing. "I think maybe we need to bring him in," Miller said, stepping forward, "just to be safe." "You don't need to do that. I've cooperated, shown ID. There's no cause to detain me." "Maybe, but I don't like how this is going." Calloway smiled coldly. "Turn around, hands behind your back. For our safety." "I haven't done anything." "Then you won't mind." Miller reached for Malcolm's wrist. Rex's snarl cut through the air. Both officers drew their weapons. "Get that dog back!" Calloway barked. Rex remained in place, but his instincts screamed. Marcus raised his hands slowly. "Officers, please. He's reacting to your aggression. Rex is under control. He hasn't moved. He's on leash. He's trained. The only aggression here is yours." "I don't give a damn what you think," Miller snapped. "Control your damn dog." "He is controlled. Rex, down." Rex immediately lowered himself, body stiff but obedient. "Leash, shorten it. Make sure he can't move." Marcus obeyed, gripping the leash closer. "Turn around, hands behind your back." Marcus didn't move. The moment he gave them his back, he'd be in cuffs. "Turn around!" Rex let out a deep growl. Both officers' hands shot to their guns. "Control your damn dog!" "He is controlled." Miller moved first, jerking toward his gun. Rex reacted, a split-second defensive response. The gunshot rang out. The leash jerked. Rex stumbled, collapsed. The world slowed. "No!" Marcus dropped to his knees. Rex's weight was heavy, too heavy, blood warm between his fingers. "Stay with me," Marcus whispered. "I got you, boy." Rex's eyes stayed on him, still alert, still searching his face. Then a final exhale, and stillness. Something inside Marcus snapped. He surged upward, fists clenched, ready to tear them apart. The taser slammed into his spine. Voltage ripped through him, muscles seizing, sending him crashing down. Then they were on him, boots, pistols, shouting. "Stay down! Hands behind your back!" The cuffs bit into his wrists. They dragged him toward the car. "You killed him!" Marcus screamed. "You murdered him!" But no one listened. The door slammed shut. They thought this was over. But Marcus wasn't just some man walking his dog. He was Delta Force. One way or another, he was going to burn their world to the ground. The holding cell was cold, stale. Marcus waited, the anger cooling into something harder, more dangerous. The door opened. "Get your damn hands off him!" Jasmine stormed in. His sister, defense attorney, a force of nature in a power suit. "You're done holding him," she snapped, shoving papers at the nearest officer. "Unless you want the lawsuit of the century." Calloway appeared, amused. "Relax, sweetheart. Just had a conversation with your brother. Little misunderstanding." "A misunderstanding?" Jasmine's laugh was sharp. "Is that what we're calling shooting his dog and assaulting him?" Could have gone worse. Marcus's voice was quiet, but laced with something that made Calloway's smirk flicker. "It will." Outside, Jasmine's expression shifted from fury to grief. "I'm sorry. I know what he meant to you. You need to let me handle this through the courts, the media. It won't work. Malcolm, it won't work, and we both know it." Days later, the house was silent. The absence of Rex's presence left a void so deep it felt like the floor would give way. Jasmine stood by the window. "You haven't slept. Haven't eaten." Marcus stared at his hands around an untouched coffee mug. Rex's leash sat coiled on the counter. "I know what you're thinking." "Do you?" "I know you. If something's broken, you fix it. If there's an enemy, you eliminate it. But this isn't a battlefield." "Feels like one." "The system is slow, but we're filing a case. I have connections, reporters, activists. This won't just go away. They already closed the internal investigation." Jasmine's breath hitched. "What?" "Wrapped up this morning. No misconduct, no charges, justified force." "That doesn't mean we're done." "No, Jasmine." His voice was final. "They took everything from me in seconds. You're telling me to wait, to hope the same system that let them walk free will find accountability? I tried. I tried when they cuffed me, when I showed ID, when I spoke politely, when I didn't resist. I tried, and Rex still died. I'm not asking you to be okay with it. I'm done trying." She searched his face for doubt, hesitation, found nothing but resolve. "If you do this, there's no coming back." Marcus held her gaze. "I don't want to come back." The bar sat at the city's edge. Marcus had been watching Calloway for days, learning his rhythm, his vices. Predictable. Predictability was weakness. Calloway stumbled toward the back exit, keys slipping from his fingers. Marcus struck, a precise kick sending Calloway crashing down, head bouncing off pavement. "What the?" A steel-toed boot slammed into his stomach. Marcus grabbed Calloway's collar, dragging him up to slam him back down. "You don't get to know who I am," Marcus whispered. "Not yet." He crouched down. "You like playing judge, jury, executioner. Easy when you've got a badge, when no one fights back." The next punch sent blood splattering. "That was for all my brothers and sisters you've harassed and beat. This is the last time you ever walk away from something lit. Risk this, because after tonight, I'm going to take everything from you. Your job, reputation, family, safety. When there's nothing left, you'll wake up knowing somewhere out there, I'm watching. Marcus leaned in. This is just the beginning. Then he was gone. Marcus had expected retaliation. What interested him was how they'd respond. They found someone else to blame, strong black men in the community they'd targeted before. He watched through his camera as they harassed Taryn Briggs at the boxing gym, then Dwayne Carter at his apartment. When that got them nowhere, they came for him. Marcus had prepared the house carefully, not obvious security, but staging that made him look vulnerable. Half-empty whiskey bottle, unopened mail, gun safe left slightly ajar. Hidden cameras positioned perfectly. The knock came sharp, demanding. "Something I can help you with?" Marcus asked, opening the door. "Mind if we come in?" Calloway's smirk didn't reach his eyes. "That depends. You got a warrant?" Before Marcus could react, Calloway's hand was on his chest, shoving him back. Miller followed, clicking the door shut. "We've been thinking," Miller said. "The guy who did this to me, he was trained. Professional stuff. Not a lot of people are trained like that, unless they had the right background, like Delta Force." Marcus let the silence stretch, then laughed. "You think I beat your ass? Calloway, if I had, you wouldn't have walked away." That's a real interesting response. The first punch landed hard against his ribs. Marcus grunted, stumbled, but didn't resist. Another to his jaw. He let it happen, kept his hands loose. Not so tough now. Marcus let his body sag. "You done?" "For now. Stay out of our way. If we find out you had anything to do with this, you're not going to like how it ends." After they left, Marcus got up, walked to his laptop, pulled up the camera feeds. There it was. Everything he needed. The moment they'd sealed their fate. Marcus drafted emails, attaching carefully edited footage. Not everything, just enough to stir the pot. The storm was coming, but first Miller needed his beating. Marcus found Miller at a dive bar, 3 hours deep in whiskey. When Miller stumbled into the alley, Marcus followed. "Long night?" Miller froze, turned, recognition flickering. You look tired." Miller's fingers twitched near his gun. "What do you want?" "I want you to understand something. You're done." Miller reached for his weapon. Malcolm struck first, fast and precise. Miller fell, and Marcus stood over him, waiting for him to get up so they could really get started. By the time Marcus finished, Miller was broken flesh and shattered arrogance. "Remember how I said I don't forget?" Marcus crouched beside him. "This is just the beginning." Then he drove to the casino, made sure the cameras caught every angle, every detail. He played blackjack, ordered drinks, let 100 people see him there. By the time Miller crawled back to report, Marcus had an airtight alibi. The flashing lights were waiting when Marcus turned onto his street. 4 officers, 2 patrol cars. "Malcolm Hayes?" "That's me." "Step out of the vehicle, turn around, hands behind your back." Marcus didn't argue. "You sure you want to do this?" They cuffed him, drove him to the station. In the interrogation room, Captain Holt dropped photos on the table. Miller and Calloway, beaten, humiliated. "You know why you're here." "Not a clue." Holt slid the file toward him. 2 officers were attacked, both convinced they know who did it. Marcus raised a brow. "That's so. You want to tell me where you were last night?" Marcus smiled. This was the question he'd been waiting for. "Sure. I was at the Bellagio Casino, main bar. You'll find the security footage matches exactly with the time Miller was getting his ass handed to him. Funny how that works." Holt's expression didn't change, but Marcus caught the flicker in his eyes. A knock interrupted. Captain, you need to see this. It's everywhere. The footage, the emails, the IA reports, on the news. For the first time, Malcolm saw it, the moment Holt realized he'd lost. You should uncuff me now. Minutes later, the cuffs clicked open. Marcus stood, straightened his shirt. Next time, pick better men. Outside, the world had already turned. The footage had gone viral. The break-in, the assault, the history of corruption. Reporters swarmed as Marcus stepped out. Mr. Hayes, do you have anything to say? Marcus ignored them, his gaze locking onto Calloway and Miller standing on the sidewalk, caught in their own downfall. You set us up, Miller spat. Marcus smiled. You did this to yourself. Miller stepped forward, but the reporters surged closer, the world watching. Enjoy it while it lasts, Calloway muttered. Enjoy what? Your little moment? This won't last forever. Marcus chuckled. This isn't a moment. This is the rest of your life. You don't come back from this. He leaned in close enough for only them to hear. You always thought you were the strongest ones in the room. Turns out you were the weakest. He stepped back. See you around, boys. That evening, Marcus watched the news. Calloway and Miller, officially terminated, no pension, no severance. The police chief condemned their actions, swore change. When asked for comment outside the precinct, Marcus had said only, they got what they deserved. But he wasn't finished. Over the next week, he filed formal complaints, not just about the attacks on him, but everything. Every false arrest, every beating, every abuse of power. A grand jury was convened. Charges: conspiracy, misconduct, excessive force, attempted murder. The trial was swift. The footage spoke for itself. Marcus testified, his voice steady as he recounted that night, Rex's death, their assault in his home. The defense tried to paint him as emotional, unstable, seeking revenge. But the evidence was overwhelming. Guilty, count after count, charge after charge. Guilty. The judge's sentence was final. 25 years in federal prison without parole. The room erupted. Calloway sank forward, head in hands. Miller's mouth fell open. Marcus felt nothing. Not satisfaction, not joy. Just finality. They would never walk free again, never hurt another person. Outside, reporters waited. Mr. Hayes, do you have a statement? Marcus looked directly into the cameras. They got what they deserved. The cemetery was quiet. Marcus walked the familiar path, stopping at the small headstone. Rex, loyal to the end. He crouched down, fingers tracing the stone. Hey, boy. It's done. The wind shifted through the grass. You were right about them from the start. I made them pay for it. I didn't just get justice. I took them apart, piece by piece. Let them taste real fear for the first time. He leaned back. They're going to rot in a cell for 25 years, waking up every morning knowing exactly who put them there. The evening settled, sky deepening to blue. I miss you, he said quietly. He placed a faded photo against the stone, Rex sitting beside him, ears up, sun in his fur. Marcus took a deep breath, stood, took one last look at the headstone. Then finally he turned and walked away. This time he didn't look back.